As a church, we're failing at stewardship. The average person just gives 1 to 2% of their income to the church. As a matter of fact, only 5% of the population actually does tithe. Now, part of the problem lies in the definition of what is stewardship. Stewardship is not fundraising. Stewardship is a way of life. It is a disciple's response to God's blessings. Now, my favorite scripture about stewardship comes from 1 Peter 4:10, which says, "As each of us has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace." The most important thing we'll talk about during this presentation is the system that you can implement in your church today to create a year-round culture of stewardship. Our research tells us these are the 7 things that you need to do to stimulate generosity of time, talent, and treasure in your church. Number 1, teach stewardship through lay speakers, bulletin inserts, quarterly sermons, newsletter columns, and Facebook. Number 2, teach prayer-based discernment so that the decision to give is between the individual and God. Number 3, structure episodic volunteer opportunities so that every person can participate in a meaningful ministry experience.
The thing that surprised me was that it was an all-inclusive means to engaging a congregation in stewardship, not just raising money, not just capital campaigns, but to really digging down and getting people involved from the heart in stewarding the resources that God has given them for the church.
The 4th element of the stewardship system is to structure the decision-making process to engage everyone in implementing the vision of your church. Number 5, organize numerous social activities because the research says belonging brings belief. It's the connected member who gives generously. Number 6, plan your system of asking to avoid nickel and diming your people. Base the decision to give on prayer, not pressure. The 7th and final element of the stewardship system is to thank your contributors profusely. The less involved individuals seem to need the thanks the most. Only about 30% of Catholics and about half of Protestants actually give to their churches. So our level of participation is astonishingly low.
One of the key things is not about just soliciting funds, but getting people engaged, getting their whole body and mind to volunteer and become engaged in the vision of the church.
And then you want to invite people to put their hands in the clay to help you form and mold that vision. And when they have a sense of owning it, and they can see their feedback in the feasibility study, and they can see the building reflect their concern, or the organ, or whatever you're working on, they have a sense of ownership. I mean, that is what you are shooting for. It's a 50 to 1 return on investment. Is stewardship a good business to be in? Man, don't you wish you could invest your IRA there? The average person, when they have been through a personal finance workshop teaching them to be a better steward, their average gift goes from 2% of income to 6%. Our passion is stewardship. Our ministry is to help churches build a culture of generosity. Through the stewardship system, we want to help you secure the resources your church needs for ministry work.